Hey, welcome back. This is the second video in a series of videos in which I'll demonstrate LuckGrib. I want to do these in kind of small bite-sized pieces. So rather than having a big video trying to go through everything, and there's quite a lot, I will produce a series of smaller videos. So in a previous video, which I'll link somewhere here, I went through downloading files in a fairly basic way. I'll come back to that topic in a future video. But in this one, I want to show some of the details surrounding viewing the content in a weather file. So I think for this demonstration, we'll look at the weather data around Florida. So in the previous video, we downloaded a weather file for Florida here. And first thing I want to do is update this so I get the most recent data for today. So again, open the sidebar, click this tap the little icon to the left, which is the icon to update the file, and here we have a fresh set of data for today. So in viewing this data, there's different ways of doing it. There is text being shown in the top right-hand corner, which at this location and this forecast time, it's showing that the wind is 16.6 knots from 70 degrees east-northeast. And as you change the time by tapping in the timeline at the bottom, you'll see that the forecast is updating. You can see what time is being shown in the top right-hand corner. At this point, we're looking at Friday, April 9th at 1:13 p.m. So yeah, that's simple. The blue line indicates the current time. The red line in the timeline indicates now. So if you slide the blue line over to the red line, you're looking at the current conditions, the current forecast. That's all pretty straightforward. So you can zoom in and out, change time, look at the weather patterns. The visual representation is really useful for seeing the overall pattern in the weather. The other way of looking at data is you may want to see what the conditions will do at a point over the entire forecast interval. And the way that's something called a mediogram. Mediograms are graphical representations of weather data at a point. And the way to bring up a mediogram in LuckGrib is to tap the text, the Grib text information. So I'll tap on this little window. It's too bad you can't see taps with this screen recording, but I tapped on the Grib information text window, and this mediogram appeared. And if I tap it again, it goes away. I tap it again, it comes back. And what this is showing is the weather information at the point where the cursor is, and the cursor is the central crosshair in the middle of the screen. So as you move the map around now, the weather data is being updated to show all of what's happening at that point through the whole forecast. This is really useful if you're, for example, anchored somewhere and you want to know what to expect in what's coming for that point. So yeah, there's the two ways. You can look at it visually and see the overall patterns, or you can look at it at a point and see what's happening at that point for the entire forecast. And depending upon what the data is in the file, you have different rows in this mediogram. So yeah, just give it a try. When you get the app, just start tapping on things, and you can't break the program. You'll discover stuff, hopefully. And I'll be showing some of the stuff you can discover in the future as well. The other thing I'll point out here is that the weather data. So yes, in the example, in the video yesterday, the previous video, I went through downloading this weather file in pretty basic detail, and one of the settings, which was available for this file, which is the Global Forecast System, GFS, was the resolution you wanted. And since we're on high-speed internet, we asked for the highest resolution, which in this case is every quarter of a degree. So it's really useful to be able to see which of these wind barbs is from the model and which of them are being interpolated or being generated by the program. And LuckGrib does that by showing you a little dot. So if you notice, some of these wind barbs have a dot at their root, some don't, and the dots indicate that that point is from the weather model. So this is the weather model telling you that the wind at this point is, in this case, 10.7 knots from 196 degrees south-southwest. And in between, the program will be interpolating. It does a smooth interpolation between the weather model points. So in this case, the weather is from the south-southwest, and over here is another wind, another data point from the model. And it's also south-southwest. So in between, the system will be interpolating. It generates the smooth interpolation, which in this case will be very accurate because both of these directions are the same pretty much. You want to be careful or be aware that when you have the weather model showing you a big discrepancy between two model points, you may find areas where one wind direction is from the west and the other wind direction just adjacent is from the east. So the system will be generating interpolations between those two, but the directions you see aren't from the weather model. They're from the application trying to show you a smooth representation of what the model is showing. So just something to be aware of. Well, anyway, leave it at that. And yeah, in the interests of keeping this fairly short, I'll show you one more thing. This file contains sea level pressure, wind at the surface, wind gusts, and rain. And the way to visualize the different parameters is with a second button. So look on the left-hand side of a screen, second button down is like a little wind barb button. If you tap that, you will see a list of the different combinations of styles which the application comes with, the presets. And as you tap those different combinations, you see that the visual representation, the graphics change. So this can be a useful way of going through the file and seeing it in different ways. And depending upon which parameters you download in the file, you'll have more or fewer selections here to choose from. I think briefly I'll show you how this works. If you open up this window and tap the Edit Draw Styles button towards the bottom of the screen, this is actually a list of all the different draw styles which are available for the parameters in this file we've downloaded. So you can go through and turn whichever ones you want on. So now I've turned them all on, and you'll see that the display is quite confusing. So what this list is are the combinations which I've decided are useful for me and hopefully you as well. But if you find a combination which you would like to see, perhaps you want to see wind streamlines and wind barbs at the same time, you can do that. You can just go through and select the combinations you like. So there's streamlines and barbs, which I don't know, is pretty confusing, but if you like that, you can make the combination, tap give it a name, foo, and then hit the create button, and that will have this combination appear in the sidebar here. So yeah, I think in the interests of keeping this video short, that's a really ugly one. We'll go back to wind rain pressure. Oops. Sorry, I got a little distracted. Yeah, there's more videos coming. Yeah, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.